Hello again. Well, we're just waiting for the teams to emerge here at Pittodrie. Aberdeen Rangers. Kevin Gallagher is with me this afternoon. Kevin, very briefly, where do you see this game being won and lost this afternoon?
I think basically it's going to be one in the midfield. Both midfields look like they're going to be attacking. But I think at the start of the game it might be a little bit cagey because, as you say, it's important for both sides. So we could either see a very fiery start or a very cagey start. But I can see the battle be won in the midfield. And
we expect big things from Brian Laudrup. We mentioned him earlier. He likes scoring against Aberdeen, and statistics prove that, Kevin. 6 out of the 7 last league games against the Dons, Laudrup scores, so he's up for it today.
I'll definitely be up for it, and I mean, to add to that statistic, I mean, it would be good for him, and also because he's leaving at the end of the season.
Yes, indeed. Okay, well, as you can see, the teams are coming out. Aberdeen against Rangers, live from Pittodrie this afternoon. Let's join our summariser, Charlie Nicholas, and match commentator, Archie McPherson.
Thank you very much indeed, and you can see from some of the grim faces coming out of that tunnel, there isn't going to be a picnic out there today. Like you, I don't think anybody has ever left Pittodrie after an Aberdeen Rangers game feeling as if they've had a bundle of laughs. In fact, some of them would have driven you to a Stephen King horror story for light relief, and the statistics seem to bear that out. There have been 17 bookings and 1 sending off in the 3 games between them this season alone. I believe you me, compared to the past, that's like peace breaking out. Well, to say the least, it's been ruggedly competitive through the years, sometimes with football marvellous, but far too often the niceties in the game have been kicked out of the park early on. But if there's one man that can really lift that Aberdeen side, it's Ian Jess. Ian Jess, who's at an Aberdeen side who haven't won the last 7 games. They brought back Ricky Gillis after languishing in the reserves. Mike Newell comes in, the only man to have scored a hat-trick this season at Pittodrie. And if there's a scourge of that side, it is a man in the blue jersey called Brian Laudrup. There he is. He hasn't scored for 17 matches, but he scored against Aberdeen in every game last season. And so he is the inspiration, still is the inspiration, and perhaps some Rangers supporters have forgotten just what his valuable contribution has been in the earlier years. So we're set for it. Willie Young is the referee, Scottish Cup final referee, and Charlie Nicholas. Good afternoon to you, Charlie.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Well,
good afternoon
we saw both managers talking at the start. He seemed to be logical and confident they had to win every game. But last night, obviously, Wim Jansen was confident he had the points and the goals in the bag.
Well, that's the main thing. Everybody's going on about goal difference, Archie. And Rangers can come here and say they're only 2 goals behind. The important thing when you play away from home is getting 3 points in the bag and going back down the road and then getting on with next week's challenge. That's the way Rangers will look to it today. Aberdeen, for me, with Newell back today, will be playing more direct, bypassing the midfield and going for the pick-up pieces from Dodds and Jess.
Well, I hope the fears and the apprehensions about a tough physical game will be obviated by the players themselves out there. I was out on the pitch. It's not going to be an easy one. There's a brisk wind blowing in, surprise, surprise, from the North Sea. The pitch is fast and hard, and I think skill of the ball is going. Back goes 10. Scored 4 goals in the last 5 games, and really on a run just now. Some Rangers supporters simply could not believe he had a superb strike, which of course he showed for Sweden in the past, and now they've seen it with their own eyes. And they were coist, and there's Chen in the tackle right away. Now Laudrup. Albert, I think, unaccustomed to trying to use that right foot of his inside. Well, Charlie, 6 weeks ago, the Rangers defence looked as if it was rehearsing for pantomime. There was just a touch of it there again.
Well, it's been evident throughout the season, but I think one lift they have had, although that was a mistake by Amoruso, I think he's still to find his match fitness. I think that's gradually coming back, but he's given the defence a major lift.
Amoruso, I saw him playing against Ronaldo for Fiorentina against Barcelona 18 months ago in the Cup Winners' Cup. And he played the great Ronaldo right out of the game by using that great physical presence of his. Played on that far side. And I think that's going to be a free kick. Again, Joachim Björklund seems to be much better, playing just slightly wider away from the central row, Charlie.
I think he's just relying on his pace so much in the past, international level, and then he comes and plays Rangers. He's had a lot of criticism this season, He's got that pace that we know, but his distribution's poor. So I think he's much in preference of being a marker rather than a guy who can get space on the ball.
Adam McCoist looked as if he was riding off into the sunset 6 weeks ago as well. Now 4 goals to the good since then. It's picked up by Billy Dodds and a brilliant save there. Wonderful anticipation there again by a goalkeeper who's in the last 6 games been quite outstanding. Free kick. Well, Charlie, just have a look at this again.
Yeah, again, a slack play from Rangers in the defence. They don't quite clear it. Dodds does the right thing. There's no one in the box. You've got to think about striking it. He does that well, and a great save from Gorham.
Somebody was telling me that Andy saves all his better games against Celtic, but I think he's a bit more democratic than that. And a touch by Adam McCoist there. Nice, fast, furious start to the game, Charles.
Not surprised at that. I think we did mention the fact, I think Kevin Gallagher in the studio said midfield is a key area. Yes, of course it is, because Rangers must dominate it to get more of the service to Laudrup, Jury and McCoist. I'm saying that I think Aberdeen will bypass it, but it's a frantic start as usual, because Aberdeen will play this route into Newell and then feed off him.
It's maybe not too surprising, by the way, that they've got to play from back to front as quickly as they can, because the pitch in the middle just doesn't look ideal for a passing game.
Yeah, it's unusual. Petrogly's normally a good surface. I think with this wind today swelling a little bit, it gives you a problem to get the ball down. And of course we know the first 20 minutes or so will be frantic, so there won't be much space for the midfielders.
Picked up there by Newell, he sends it inside. I think it's going to be very difficult for Mike Newell to come back into a game. Apparently, Charlie hasn't trained for 5 days. Now, that reduces sharpness.
Of course it does, and I think you look at Jackie McNamara, who was on the bench for Celtic yesterday, hasn't trained for a few weeks. Sometimes it's easier to just go on the bench, come on and maybe contribute in the last half hour. But they're taking a gamble today with Mike Newell.
Laudrup picked up by George Alberts, driving on beyond David Rowson. Well, he hasn't been able to get into the German squad, but I think the valuable thing for Rangers is he's got his focus back. Curiously enough, and maybe not coincidentally, since Gascoigne left, where he's had to work maybe just that little bit harder. I think Andy Gorham there trying to prove he wasn't unnerved by that last moment. Up went John Ingles again. There was a little bit of an injury down about John Ingles. There he is. 1 goal for Aberdeen this season. He's very good in the air. Very reliable player. And he goes to Alberts, trying to get it to his left foot. McCoist is there. And now Ter. Newell after it. Yorkland. Now here's Ter. Laudrup, beautiful diagonal run by Laudrup there. McCall as ever, very handy, just feeding from the back. Just played beyond Ricky Gillis. A little bit of sloppiness in that Aberdeen midfield. He just got that one back. I don't think there's any doubt that this big man has tremendous physical presence.
Yeah,
I think he just needs his feet properly acclimatized now.
Yeah, I think so, and I think you know, the Old Firm games are a great test for any player, and I think he handled the situation both physically and mentally well. But I think, yeah, with just touching his sharpness again, actually, I think it will come gradually. I think the sharpness won't really be in evidence until next season.
Taken by Derek White. Well, when Alec Miller came back to the side, he had that very good run. 5 games unbeaten, 5 games up here at Pittodrie without losing a goal. I don't think that renaissance has come to a shuddering halt. I think it's on hold at the moment. And today, of course, will prove their staying power. Ingles. Yorkland, turn, and I think the whistle has gone. Free kick. Willie Young was talking to me before the game and expressing the anxieties of some referee about the interpretation of the new FIFA tackle from the rear, which will have to be absolutely clarified before the World Cup. Back down there, and a very poor effort there indeed by Ricky Gillis. And once again, a difficult situation for a boy who's been languishing in the reserves to come into a game with this importance.
Well, I think that's the way it looked there. He tried to snatch an opportunity. He's a technically gifted little player. I think with his type of ability, and he's not used to these big games so far, he could have maybe just took a touch on that and just got himself well balanced, but snatched it too early.
Just beyond Laudrup. Back there to Gary Smith. Stephen Glass. Like Laudrup, everybody knows where Glass has got to head up. Billy Dodds. Great thing about Dodds is he's so quick on the ground, he can turn players quickly. The service will have to be better than that there. John Ingle. White. Amoroso just gets it away. Turn. Nicely back there by Jimmy Buchan. I first saw Jimmy Buchan this season at Easter Road a couple of weeks ago. That's a free kick. Oh no, he's allowing play to go on. Smith, that's a good ball inside and taken away initially by Alberts. Now, Ali McCoist. Certainly Jamie Buchan very influential in midfield at the moment. I saw him playing at full-back when he came on as a sub against Sebs, and then he was played in midfield against the United. Craig Brown was there, saw him and promptly put him in the under-21s on the basis of the performance. Here he goes again. That's a beautiful ball. Jess inside to Stephen Glass, and he's almost there. And there's a shot by Dodds. Rangers under siege at the moment. Turn. Beautifully swept out there by Turn. Seeing the empty space, that's a glorious ball. And touched away by Derek White.
Well, they're certainly hitting them in full throttle at the moment, Aberdeen, but we've seen this a lot from Rangers. They take a bit of punishment, they will take that gamble to hit you on the break, and if they can get Laudrup involved in the play, they'll feel that they'll get something. I think now Aberdeen have convinced themselves that they've got to score first, and they're going to give Rangers a real difficult afternoon.
Richard Goff looked as if he might toil just a little bit there. Longie's ball trying to bring Laudrup into the play again. David Wilson getting back. Laudrup. That's a nice little ball to McCall. He'll try the shot and go. Oh, Jim Leighton got down to that very well indeed.
It's a great pass from Laudrup. Stewart, I don't think, quite believed the position he was in and decided to take too many touches on it. Ended up comfortable save for Jim Leighton.
Just got the feeling he would have preferred to lay it off to somebody now. He's not one of the great strikers.
He was searching for someone there.
Turn now. Great chance for Rangers. He's got Ali McCoist and he's got Laudrup there. Laudrup wanting that ball played back to him. There's McCoist. And there's a shot and goal, brilliantly saved. Once again, the man with that lethal left foot coming in. He didn't have much of an opportunity, Charlie.
Well, you're surprised he got it through the bodies. McCoist did well enough. He's blocked out. Good numbers for Aberdeen. A good powerful shot from Alberts. End-to-end stuff so far.
Disappointed, as I said, he didn't get into the German World Cup squad. But, you know, generally speaking, when you come to a game like this near the end of the season, the pitch is very fast here. Is Alec Cleland, and that's away by White. When you come to a pitch like this on a day like this, you feel you're maybe going to get something that's too negative, but that's a very good start to this game.
Well, very positive from both sides, it's got to be said. As well, the youngs having a work with Bjorkman. But you've got to be positive in times like this. Aberdeen are fighting now, second bottom of the table, and Rangers just want to go there and in a way physically getting top of this side so that they can get the 3 points, which they mean so much for their championship hopes.
Amoroso to Turn. Very fast and furious in midfield. And I think we saw signs of Turn early in the season, finding the pace of the game in midfield in Scotland a little bit too much for him. Good tackling by the defence. Rawson comes away again. Jury back in that deep position. Now Laudrup. That's a bit more like him. little bit slow. He's not the same man he was a couple of seasons ago, Charlie.
He's lost a little bit. I think he's had a lot of back problems, which has really been also conducive with the fact that his hamstrings have been suffering. And that really takes a lot of, out of a player like Laudrup's ability. He needs his quick 5 yards. If he doesn't have that, then people can get back and tackle a lot more frequently than we've seen in the past.
Lovely ball by Jess, picked up by Rosen. Just touched away, and that far side, Yockland's there. Now 10, surrounded by red jerseys, and that's the way out. No other way for him, just punting it away. That's tried. That's a good tackle by Jury. It's Ali McCoy's inside. There's McCoy's right off balance there. Remember, Rangers have Mark Negri on the bench, who I think will be champing at the bit to get on this game. A man who's scored 36 goals all season will simply not like to be on the bench. Ali McCoy's never like to be on the bench. Well, we've seen Gordon Jury more in a defensive role than anything else so far.
Yeah, it seems to be happening, and Jess also coming deep at times for Aberdeen. It's all about these final balls. The last 30 yards out, you've got to have someone today with imagination, and that will make a big difference to one team.
Whistle goes. Willie Young bring it to an end, that little sequence of fairly vicious tackling, to say the least. I think the first one by McCall was a bit hectic as well, but it's a free kick. Free kick to Rangers.
Well, it's a tackle from behind, isn't it? You know you're not allowed to do it now. Simple as that. It's a clear free kick.
They're taken by Richard Goff. They've got Gordon Jury, Ali McCoyston, Brian Laudrup right across the front of the line, and that might be corner now. Leighton gets it. Just a couple of weeks after the World Cup final, that man will be 40. McCoy's claiming he got it in the face. There's Alberts. This is Laudrup. This is a situation he normally flourishes in, and he tries to Alberts. Just a little bit slow on the turn. Call a bit slow. Now, Jess. This is Jess at his best, and a great tackle by Goff. On the Rangers defence, getting the jitters again. This is the sign of pantomime that I was talking about earlier in the season, and Jess might have cut it back. I don't know, he probably run out of options.
Well, he did, because Newell had set the pass up and couldn't get in the box in time. There's no one in there to supply, so what he's got to do, he's actually got to commit Amoruso or take the shot at goal. It's a little bit wide. He really should hit the target, if nothing else.
Smith away. Hesitant by Alec Cleland again. Now the trouble is, Cleland is not a natural left back.
No, he's the type of guy who likes to feed into Laudrup or into the midfield area. Alberts at times.
Now Gillis, and it's just behind. Good run by Gillis there.
It's an opportunity though. That was good build-up play from Aberdeen. Again, Cleland letting people get inside him. It's Gillis that time, and they just suddenly start to ask a few questions at the back with Rangers. Amoruso's struggling to get back with them. He just doesn't get enough angle on it.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt, Charlie, that if Aberdeen keep the ball in the ground and are close into passing, they're going to cause this Rangers defence trouble. In the air, I don't think there'll be anything at all to worry about. Laudrup takes it right to the edge. 10. Did that easy enough. Laudrup looking for support from Jury. He might have got the slightest touch, but I think he also got it flush in the face. I think that will stop the play. Well, in a situation like that, I suppose you've got to be very courageous. You've got to take absolutely every chance that comes your way.
Well, he's the very man that we discussed just a few weeks ago, Kamala, when he had the bad head knock. Little arm catch from the face. It's an accident. more worrying for Aberdeen would have been how easy Laudrup skint Derek White down the flank and got that crossing. But he'll be fine. It looks as if he's just a little dazed.
If there is a worry at this stage for Aberdeen, I think Laudrup is now beginning to get a little bit of freedom, and he's able to turn and look at the defence. He did it there.
Well, you seen an opportunity. Laudrup skint Derek White very easily, and then, you know, Derek White searching for people to come out the central defensive area of Aberdeen to support him and give him aid. Well, as soon as that happens, that's when you tend to get people like Albertz flying forward and getting little pieces to pick up, and that's a danger that Rangers always seem to have.
So just beyond 18 minutes. And there's been a bit more turmoil on the pitch here than there has been in the North Sea, which is very and surprisingly benign today. And all to the good in the game that many of us feared might be too negative, but you've seen already the kind of goal-mouth skirmishes. Well, there we are. There he is again, Walter Smith. I don't know what his bill is, but it certainly mounts up over the games. I also think that if Aberdeen were going to strike quickly, that would have been a great advantage to them.
Oh, yeah,
as a result, this first 18 minutes, okay, Rangers have looked a bit jittery at the back, but they have survived.
Yeah, I think Rangers are the type of team who settle in 20, 25 minutes. It's still 0-0, they'll work away. So you see McCoy's having an effort. You know, and then they gradually get the Laudrups and Albertz into the game. And then they subdue midfield areas. And that's what Aberdeen can't afford. They can't afford to let Rangers overrun them in midfield today.
Well, I think even Ali would have to admit that was a little over-ambitious, that last one. That's beyond again by Duel. Great tackle there. And Amoruso plays safe. Now that's another side of Amoruso. He has good vision in the box, as he showed against Celtic in both games.
Yeah, and he's done Richard Gough a real turn there. He's covered him very well because Newell had simply run away from Gough. So it was good positional sense from Amoruso.
Well, that's always a sign of uncertainty, isn't it? Player taking that time. There's Gordon Jury. Giving away too many balls this time. The Glass puts it over. Albertz. Now Gillis. And look where Alec Clellens has ended up. Right across the other side of the field now. Here's Laudrup. He's away. Free kick. David Rowson right in on top of him. And I think Rowson knew exactly what he was doing there.
Well, I actually think he surprised Rowson because I don't think his first touch was as good as it normally is. But he got away with it because he's so fast in his feet movement.
There's McCoist. Well, he did very well to get out of that.
A good turn from Ali here. Just got to take that gamble and hope he finds Jury, but good position.
Laudrup fighting hard for it. He might just get this again now. Taken away by Glass. The great quality of Stephen Glass is the amount of territory he actually covers for his side in a defensive and attacking role.
Yeah, it's good knowledge now, very experienced now, Stephen Glass, obviously leaving at the end of this season. He's got a lovely left foot. I think he's a big influence actually when he gets the ball down, a little bit of space, he can pick his passes, a great final ball into the box. He's a player capable of winning matches on his own.
He goes for it again, and indeed Rangers were very keen on him at one stage. That's a free kick. Jonas Stern with the foot up. This referee wants that taken again. Well, you know, Jim was saying at the start of the programme that Rangers need to win by 2 clear goals. Well, in 46 attempts at that in games against Aberdeen, they've only ever done that twice in the Premier Division. And there's Gough. Well, let's just say Richard tried that.
Well, he knows Andy Gorham ever so well, doesn't he? So he's got the touch, especially round about in the aerial side of it. He's got the touch, so he's quality there.
Going back to that statistic about Rangers only twice, I'm talking, of course, about Pittodrie. There's Albertz. Laudrup. Cluster of red jerseys round him. Clellan. Talon and Bjorklund have immediately switched. There's Tern, he can't get it through. Just came back very deep. Well, there's never any doubt. I often feel that's a free kick, you know, Charlie, but the referees never ever give the benefit to the attacker in a situation like that.
Well, I think as an ex-striker, I would always be on the verge of agreeing with forwards, but I think on that occasion, there's simply no way that a defender can step aside for you. Entry movement, you know, actually, the fact that Bjorklund's now gone on the left side and Cleland's gone on the right, I mean, it's not a particular marking job. I know he looks as if he's going near Newell most of the time with Billy Dodds, but I don't think there's a man-to-man situation here. So,
well, yeah,
just to see how that's going to develop.
Yeah, they're strung right across the back there. George McGhee comes back again. And Smith to take this. Slight hesitation by Bjorklund. Albert's late tackle that time. You feel about Joachim Bjorklund that if he's given time to think, he rather confuses himself at times. He's more a reaction player and a very quick player. That's when he's at his best.
I think he openly admits that he's preferably marker in a role that his pace is the asset to everything. And I think there's no doubt about that. That will always be the case with Bjorklund. But I think in an area where he's wider, he's always feeling a little bit vulnerable. He wants to go and mark someone, and that's when you can tease him into positions he doesn't really like getting into.
Well, that last effort there by Jim Leighton, I think, personifies the spirit of this Aberdeen side. Getting right out to that. Saving the corner. There's Amoroso. I actually think today that Amoroso is finding the pace of this pitch just a little bit tricky for him.
Yeah, I think possibly, if anything, the wind's playing a part, but he doesn't quite know what him and Richard Goff are looking at each other sometimes. A little bit anxious. I think it's simply one must make the decision. Maybe there's a little communication problem as yet.
There's free kick, Gordon Jury, very cunningly back in. I think you'll recognise, you're talking about being a striker, Charlie. I think you've maybe backed into defenders in your time, just like that. And,
I usually got the award though, actually, that was the difference.
Albert. Billy Dodds. Almost hesitation there by Gillis, but Tern gets across it now. Alberts. He only uses that little dab with his right foot. Never anything very strong with it. Cole. Well, that's good play by Alberts. Trying to get it to his left foot again. He just so reluctant to play it on his right-hand side. Almost cuts it back, and he gets a free kick this time. Well, Will Young doesn't mess about. He likes to produce these cards. He's already sent a couple of men off this season.
Yeah, well, he does. But so far, he's been pretty strong. He's let the game flow as best as he can. But Albert's a little bit fortunate there. He did take a little kick in the back of the leg, but he had lost the ball. He'd given it away cheaply.
So this masterly left foot of Alberts, who can hit with power and swing and drive in it straight. Too late. Cleland, Alberts. That's a beautiful ball by Alberts. Now Jury's Laudrup inside, and there's McCoy's. That would have ended up in the street outside the ground, I think, though. Now Rangers' turn to exert the pressure. Laudrup. Just a turn too many. I think there's been an element of indecision in his game as well, Laudrup, this season. There's Alberts. 10. He's going to try a trundling one. Well, in a surface like that, you never know, there might have been that awkward little bauble in front of Leighton.
If anybody could put power in from that distance, it is Albert. You just feel again, though, they've not got that final little burst of imagination 30 or 35 yards out.
Nanyu. McCall's been playing largely that defensive role just in front of the back four. Newell. Lucky enough to turn round in that. In there, and that's it, it's a goal! Stephen Glass has opened the scoring for Aberdeen. Almost 28 minutes gone, and Glass glides into the box from the left, touches it away, and where, oh where, was the central Rangers defence?
Well, simply all I see, it's an area where they've got Bjorkland having to go out, he doesn't want to go, it's Teamley out there, lets him cross it in too easily. Stephen Glass gets in front of Stuart McCall, the central defenders are pulled across, and they're all over the place. It's a good, clever header from Stephen Glass. Thought it was no chance, but the marking from Rangers was very, very poor.
Well, they're celebrating that unjustly too. They have been the side looking much likelier to make that breakthrough, and our Rangers really are up against it here. Cleland. The injury. Out to McCall, drives it in, just too far ahead of Cleland. While the rather moribund Pittodrie Stadium over the last few weeks has suddenly come alive. Little touch of electricity there from Stephen Glass. He might be going down to Newcastle, but there was utter conviction in the way he took that. No way is he deserting the cause today.
And they need big performances today, Aberdeen. I mean, we know the trouble that they're in. They really need the victory as much as Rangers in a strange way. But Glass has got the quality in his left foot. Surprising to see him win a header in a position where he did. But, you know, you can be thankful he's played a part so far.
Gillis. A lot of elbowing going on there, but the great thing about Gillis is he seemed not to want to give up easily, and there, in it goes again. Here's Laudrup. Turn. Cleland. I don't think McCoy is going to get that. That was touched very well there by David Rosen. Now, Ali McCoy has scored 3 headers this season, which I think would have been admired by any striker. It's not his greatest asset, but I think he's got to run in and meet the ball very hard. The long, high, lofted ball is no good to Ali. Throw to Aberdeen. Just over the half hour, and here is a team playing to allay the fears of their supporters. I was talking to Aberdonians at Easter Road a couple of weeks ago on a Tannadice, and they feel their station in life has got to be more than hovering in the twilight zone. They haven't been out of the bottom 4, Aberdeen, since the second week of the season. And as so often has happened up at this stadium, the style of the game hasn't reflected league position. Now, Laudrup. That's not a bad ball in Leighton. Up to it well. Good support there by Ricky Gillis. Bjorkland. Laudrup. Good tackling there. David Rosen is playing it very well and very fairly. Amaruso. That won't get through either. These long, low passes of Rangers have been cut off far too easily. I might have thought Andy Gorham was shouting for that. Doesn't seem to me to need to header back the way. Well, look at that there with Ali McCoist, Gordon Jury, both going for that, not knowing what each other thought about the game. I mean, there's a lack of cooperation there up front, I think.
It's just a simple someone taking control of it, making it out. I think they touched on the best at the back. They were a little bit like that early on, Goff and Amaruso. And we've seen the same with Jury McCoist.
Now Billy Dodds. Jamie Bucking going into the box, so Ian Jess. There's Bjorklund just getting to it, and Amaruso can't prevent that. Going over, and the very pace and drive and aggression of Aberdeen running over the Rangers' central defence at the moment.
Again, I worry though how Jess gets in so simply there. Just a little bit behind him, but if it wasn't, it could easily have been 2-0.
Corner kick. There's Andy Gorham, and he was tested by that one. Perhaps not really at his very best for a ball like this, Andy Gorham. He's more a line goalkeeper, an instinctive one. And shots. Now Ian Jess takes it from the far side. Derek White's very good in the air. You saw that little glimpse of him there, Amaruso. Well, they're by turn, but really into no man's land for Rangers. Taken by Alex Cleland. Really no composure about this Rangers side in midfield. Fragmented. Now, Cleland. Aberdeen simply will not allow them to settle. You could see the way that Gordon Jury flicked that ball away. There's McCoist. No, it should have been touched inside the back. Long and high, and Richard Goff bothered by that. Billy Dodds, almost a wrestling match. Well, Billy Dodds has always been the player that will snap at a defender's heels.
Yeah, little Dodds, he never gives up. He's always keen to impress and walks away, even if he's not got his touch in during games. He will walk away and pester this defence all afternoon.
Well, you've got to wonder as Brian Laudrup went through the middle, brilliantly cut off again by Ingles. Hasn't put a foot wrong. Where did Amaruso get to there? That's a free kick, I think. Yes, Willie Young is not going to be put off by that angelic look and smile of Amaruso. So this isn't an enticing position for Ian Jess. I saw Jess scoring an absolutely exquisite free kick against Hibs recently. Aberdeen weren't in the game at all, and he came up and he really glided beautifully away from the keeper.
Yeah, I think it's all about Jess. Everyone has disappeared. He looks in the mood to hit it, and I think there's only one thing in his mind now.
Here he goes, and strike this time.
Well, the cut is sweet enough. It's a nice pace on it, but doesn't get any angle either side. It's a simple save for Gorham again.
At the moment, Rangers are lost in midfield. Newell goes forward, the referee waving play on. There's Richard Goff, though. Just getting it back. Now, McCoist got the break of the ball. Now, Laudrup. Gordon Jury coming in far too quickly. Cleland. Way to the far side. Laudrup, of course, had gone over to the other wing. In comes 10. And easily taken away. And that's the difference between the two sides. That degree more conviction about the Aberdeen side. That was Newell back. And look at the gap on that side, Charlie.
They're wide open, they're getting sucked into areas. Alberts and Tern haven't really made any contribution so far.
Smith, that's a beautiful ball, and Amoruso! Oh, what a wonderful chance there for Ian Jess, and I think, even at this stage, that might have killed Rangers off. That's very late indeed. Yes, Mike Newell and Gordon Jury's not amused by that.
No, but this was a chance. Great build-up play from Aberdeen. Jess in a beautiful space. His first touch really lets him down. He should have just opened it up, back onto his right foot. What an opportunity gone.
Time for Alex Cleland. Although that was a very obvious ball again to Brian Laudrup, pushing a ball to him on the touchline, covered by two defenders. Oh, that was a little bit wicked by Jimmy Buchan. He was 6 months in the reserves, this lad, and I think his timing might just be slightly out. And he's booked. He gets a yellow card for that one. He's only a young lad, 21, but mark you, his father, Martin, captain Aberdeen at the age of 20, went on to win the Scottish Cup final against Celtic. Ship off the old block, maybe.
A very talented young player, yes. Maybe at this early stage of his career he's a little bit one-paced, but once he gets going, and you know, he's a good passer, good range, two good feet like his father had. You know, promising talent.
Well, you know, Rangers was still before this game many people's favourites to win this championship, but Aberdeen and Hungary are looking, well, bit of a limping there for Billy Dodds. That was almost an amputation. They're so sharp with the ball. As I said, if you're hungrier in a game, I know it's been said many times before, you're going to get the benefit of more of the ball.
Well, that's true. I don't know if I agree totally on this occasion. I think it's a case that they're simply harassing Rangers. And Rangers are trying to play this game, the passing game, that you just can't really do at this moment in time. You've just got to knock into your forwards, and then you get the space, but then you're facing opposition's goal.
So, free kick to Rangers. Just about 5 minutes to half-time. Richard Gough was up there, and he is again. Chased by Laudrup. Ball goes out of play, though. Ball beautifully taken by Dodds. Lying just a little bit deep, though. Couldn't really take advantage, and now pushes it on to Newell, to Jess. That's a better tackle, though, by Amoruso. Oh, what's he doing there? I think he was trying to reflect in the glory of the first pass and then was almost punished for it.
Try to be too smooth at the wrong time. You don't take gambles in there. In Scotland you're playing in. You get pressured constantly. Wrong decision.
Well, certainly Jamie Buchan has got to calm down a little bit because he went in there very hard and he's now injured. That's what Willie Young is indicating. Lying just outside the penalty area.
Yeah, what though? He's right to go and challenge in those areas, because if you have defenders who are trying to slow things down and try to be calm in their own penalty area, then you've got to be harassed in those areas. And a young guy, I think, seen an issue, he thought maybe I could just nick something from Amoruso here.
I don't think Amoruso's too happy either. He seems to be limping in midfield, right in the centre circle. He's just flexing himself there, yeah. Well, it was almost a case of pride cometh before a fall there. He did very well to block in the first instance. And then he dallied on it. Free kick. Chan ought to get this. Much too short for the pass. That's always an indication of just a little bit of anxiety when Walter leaves the comfort of the director's box to come down here beside Archie Knox. And a dialogue that I don't think will very much influence the game in the remaining part of this half. I think the half-time dressing room talk will be the one to sort this out for Rangers, and Amoruso's in again. Laudrup just offside. You could see the break there by Laudrup. And the trouble is, of course, Brian Laudrup himself said to me a couple of seasons ago, he said, you know, teams will begin to read what I'm best at in this game. Certainly they'll mark me, they'll have a man lying off me as well, and it's going to become more difficult for me in the Scottish game.
Yeah, well, I think that's proved the case this season. I think time and time again, Rangers today have certainly played too many straight balls. They're playing balls straight, very Jurian and McCoy. Laudrup can go from side to side if he likes, but they must start playing diagonals. When Rangers play diagonal balls, that's when they start creating more space for their midfield players.
Goff. McCoist. Into turn. Now they've marked very well, this Aberdeen team. There's Stuart McCall. All he could do was really clear the ball. Laudrup. And the anxiety lying very heavily in both sets of shoulders before this game started, and our Rangers struggling. Richard Goff came up and I think simply made it a congested penalty area, and that's a free kick. And I think it's going to be a booking for Alex Cleland. Now, Cleland has made history by being the first player in the history of Scottish football to be excluded from a final by the new cautioning system. He's already had a red card and another 10 yellows, so he's top of the league, if there's any satisfaction in that, at Ibrox. Trying to get above Stephen Glasser, and just offside. And very shrewdly, Newell had got away into that vacant position on the left-hand side.
Yeah, dragging in between with the changeover of Cleland and Bjorkland. There's little gaps in between those two. If you can just pick out the right pass, you've suddenly got 5 or 6 yards of space.
Poised, a little bit of a bounce here. Laudrup after this, Smith with him. And again that turn round, and Cleland totally off balance as he ran in. Well, you were saying coming up the road, Charlie, that goal that Celtic scored just before half-time was so crucial to them. Yeah. I think at this stage, what a difference it would make to the game, an equaliser at this stage.
Certainly to Rangers, I think it would give them the fact that not only are they back in the game, but they can then think positive about winning the game. At this moment in time, they've got to think about getting back into it. The pressure is always on, as this little half chance is bobbling about.
Laudrup. That's it, fired in, but too near the keeper this time. I've been a great admirer of Laudrup, to be honest, Charlie, but I feel he's been going through the motions just a little bit too long this season.
I think he's been the best talent we've ever had come to our game. No doubt about that as a half-time whistle goes at you.
So, one of the great players for Rangers over the last 4 years, going off at half-time, having been largely outplayed by a dynamic-looking Aberdeen team, and I use that word dynamic in comparison with some of the performances their supporters have suffered in recent times here, and now this whole stadium is regenerated by that goal scored by the man who's deserting Pittodrie at the end of the season. Here it comes again. Watch Glass coming very quickly in. There was a little decoy run there by Billy Dodds, and it was slotted away. So there we are, that's the score at half-time. Aberdeen leading Rangers by 1-0.
Yes, as Archie says, it's 1-0 to Aberdeen at the break. The views of Kevin Gallagher, and a look back at the first half action coming up after this short break. Welcome back to Pittodrie. It's Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0. Let's rejoin Archie McPherson.
Thank you very much indeed, Jim, and what a difference 45 minutes makes. Talking to Aberdeen supporters over the past couple of years, it's almost as if you were talking to a rather bizarre group from the northeast who were masochists complaining about what they were seeing, but turning up every week for the same medicine, and now here they are, slightly more taciturn there than they were when that goal was scored, but by comparison with the drooping, depressing mood you got here recently, this is a remarkable transformation. And now Rangers, can they rise to this challenge? If they need anything, Charlie, they certainly need some fighting spirit.
Well, they need the spirit, and I don't think they've ever lacked that. But I think, again, they've lacked the flair, the real imagination, and where the game matters. Laudrup must get in the game more. If he doesn't, look at free kick here, wild swing from Stuart McCall. If he doesn't, then this game could just fade away from Rangers. And Aberdeen, if they got a second, you would think then they could run out quite comfortably.
Aberdeen have been lusting for victory, Rangers hoping it came. That's the difference so far. McCoy's led to the zone perhaps just a little bit too often. A lot of exhortation will go on in that area just in front of the dugouts. There's McCoist. There's no offside this time. Laudrup on the break, needing better control, cutting it back to McCall. And although he moans to the referee, there was no penalty there. There's no sign of fraternity there between the players. Certainly didn't like that.
They sprung the offside trap, certainly. I just didn't think there was much challenge from the Aberdeen defender there.
There's Amoroso putting it down to Laudrup with a shot. Right off the head of Smith as he came across there. And that was good defending, but Amoroso intelligently with his head to the left.
Yeah, but certainly they're feeling away right into the start of this game. More positive from Rangers. Amoroso again important area-wise.
Yorkland and another free kick there, yes. A cute professional foul there. Just cutting across, he knew he couldn't get it, either with his head or his foot.
Did well, Gillis. He was strong body-wise, upper body was strong. He just forced the issue with Yorkland, who went to ground, and I think the referee was quite right, quite good, and to get up there so quickly, Willie Young. The right call.
Now Ian Jess, once again, he's the threat. Big men have come into the box. John Ingalls on the far side. And driven straight this time, and that was class coming across.
Much like Jesse's free kick in the first half. Decent power, decent shape, just too straight. No problem for Gorham.
A little variation by bringing Glass into it. Now Laudrup. I thought that was a free kick. Yes, he gets it. Derek White coming across there. Derek White with experience on both sides of the border. That experience is needed with so many young players around him. That's 10. There's Richard Goff. That'll be easily enough cleared. And Andy Gorham, the only Rangers player in the half there. Amoroso steadying him as Ian Jess raced in. Now, the big Italian. Jury, wrong side of Laudrup. Amoroso again. Well, I wonder if he saw Billy Dodds coming up right through the middle. Jury to Alberts. That's a cute header there by Jury. Yeah, Jury swinging right across there. Now, that's a foul of exasperation. And the referee, I think, will book Gordon Jury for this. Yes, the booking comes. Gordon Jury is his 9th caution of the season. So free kick to Aberdeen. Off. Spinning that in though. Well, and Buchan comes forward again. Well, Charlie, you were saying earlier on about young Jimmy Buchan here. There's another yellow card.
Strip the call.
Yeah, Stuart McCall gets the yellow card. Yeah, you were saying earlier on about he's kind of one pace, but what he is good, he can see an open space and he gets into it quickly enough.
His positional sense is very good. I mean, his father was a very, very intelligent player who played in the deeper position, as we know. And this little lad picks up good areas. As I say, passes the ball particularly well. I think he's been a big influence in the game for Aberdeen today.
Glass on Jess. This time Jess is a little deflection. Half-hearted attempt there by Ali in the air. Again, that contrast between a very determined player, the defender there. Ali just a little bit unsure as to whether he would get that or not. There's my Dodds inside. Well, Ricky Gillis has settled into a reasonable game now. Glass inside, and once again Jury had his boot up high.
Yes, Cleland this time, he's just simply going for the ball. Glass is trying to knock it forward. You know what the referee's going to call immediately as soon as you get the studs up to that height. You just can't do it. There is no debate.
Good clearance by Amoruso. 10. He's been rather lost in his game, I have to say, Charles.
Too quick for him so far.
Yeah, posted absent too often, I think. Jury. This is what he's good at. He's got pace, Jury, with a bit of determination, and you could hardly say he finishes with finesse.
There's more directness about this play. A strong runner. You just often wonder again, when Rangers aren't playing particularly well, they do it time and time again, they get very little numbers in the box. And again, you look up and Jury's stretching to get that in. It's a poor finish, we know, but there's only McCoy's coming in. And the aerial side, as again for McCoy's, was against Ingles and White, and you just think, well, there's very little chance of Ali McCoy's getting on the end of it.
Amoruso gets back. He was leaning on there for a moment, and he gets, I think, a free kick out of that. I think again about Amoruso, he's come strongly into this Rangers side, a game and a half against Celtic. But I wonder if there's just a slight reaction to that all now. It can be, certainly physically, after that long line. There he is again. Certainly will not do for Rangers giving the ball away that easily.
But again, it's too straight. I mean, if you keep hitting straight balls, Ingles and Derek White, there's another. It's the example is there to see. We've seen it for the first 45 minutes from Rangers. If Alberts and Tern, the wider two in the midfield role, don't get involved in the game with Laudrup, then Aberdeen will be comfortable at the back for the rest of this match.
Well, you look at the Rangers substitutes, Craig Moore, Rino Gattuso, Marco Negri. Negri simply the penalty box player. Craig Moore defender. Rino Gattuso, he's hardly a choir boy, you know. If you brought him on in an atmosphere like this, stuffy little player though he is, it might be like pouring oil and flames.
But you don't always need to bring in new personnel. What you can do, you can make the tactical change. I think if I was Rangers looking at him just now, I would look to transfer McCoist in Jury's roles. Ali McCoist has done okay, works hard, but Jury is a stronger competitor through the middle.
Again, that final ball, but good covering once more by the Aberdeen defence. Well, what I'm meaning by Gattuso is I think Rangers need a very composed player to put his foot in the ball.
Yeah, he was just quite a frantic player. He's not got the great finesse of imagination. And Gattuso has actually got his top off. He's going to come on at some stage, we think, today. It'd be a difficult one for Rangers, actually, because you don't really know who they're going to bring off, because there's been very few players that have influenced this game.
They're certainly going to risk him, I think. On towards Ali McCoist. He wasn't offside. Has to play it wide again. That's meant once again Glass in that wonderful defensive position. Oh, no wonder Kenny's seen the value of him for Newcastle. I mean, in that very powerful, demanding Premier Division in England, he'll put in a lot of toil and effort and skill, I have to say. Just away from McCall. Here's Tank. Can he set it up again? Look at the break. It's a cavalry charge. Right to the foot of Rosen. Ian Jesso is just a little bit too far behind him. And 10. Oh, that just slivered off the head. A little bit of a soliloquy there by a man who looks slightly disturbed. He's had a good run for Rangers in the last 6 games. Well, it's a case of to be or not to be across there at the Rangers bench. Because Gattuso's got his tracksuit back on again, at least the top of it. Corner kick, though. You look at him there, he's like a prize fighter, just warming up. Wants to get his teeth right into this. That'll be a lot of confidence again, and they got him. Scraping at it.
They got a little push though from, I think it was Mike Newell. Newell, you see number 9, Derek White also in there. Just a little bit of nudge. This is what grieves so many forwards. You always think these goalkeepers are far overprotected. And on that occasion, see why.
I think it may be Stuart McCall who's coming off. Sure, Stuart won't mind if I call him. He's coming towards the end of his playing career, and he's maybe run himself out of just a little bit here. And I think he expected this. Off he goes. The first time I saw Stuart McCall was scoring a couple of goals for Everton in the FA Cup final against Liverpool, trying to pull Everton back. And from that moment on, we saw a wholly dedicated player. But there comes a time when at this stage, when the pace has been so fiery, he might just have run out of steam a little. Right into the play, and watched by Jimmy Buchan there, so 2 young men together. Amoroso lost sight of that ball. That's a better play, getting a little bit of width for Rangers. Alex Cleland. Many times that longer ball has failed Rangers today. Gets away with that, Gattuso. He's going for it. A little bit too obvious for the pass. Now Gattuso. And Amoroso. Oh, there's a bit of wrestling going on, and I think a free kick in a very interesting position indeed. That long ball from Amoroso.
This is what I say about Thierry's competitive nature in the central role. Ingles gets far too close to him. Leighton was always going to get it, and I think that is a silly foul to commit. You take no gambles there. There's a booking for Jim Leighton, and you just can't take any chances in those departments.
Now then, the tempers are suffering again, and I think the referee will have to take a very strong grip of this. It's a red card for Amoroso. Amoroso raised his hand there, and Willie Young sends off the 3rd man he's cautioned this season, the 3rd sending off for a referee who stands no nonsense. And although there's a smile of disbelief on the face of Amoroso, I think nowadays you simply, under no circumstances, can raise the hand.
You cannot. It's been proved so many times in the past. Whether you agree or disagree with any decision that's made, you cannot lift your hand. There was 3 or 4 involved in that fracas, and Willie Young was just looking for someone to lift their hand, and that red card was going to come.
Well, Amoroso's very reluctant to leave the scene of the affair. He's going to be a spectator to this. He was in the tunnel. But the free kick about to be taken, and this...
I think we'll be a while yet, Archie. I think there's been problems over the dugout area.
I think so, yes. They're going across there to the dugout where the referee is walking backwards to it. Now, there's going to be a bit of an explanation by the linesman. It's Craig Moore is going to be talked to. Craig Moore about to be coming on.
There's a little bit of niggly stuff happening at both dugouts. I think Moore will eventually come on.
Yes, Craig Moore has to come on to supplement that defence now. And it's a free kick. Richard Goff is right in the middle there. And if ever there was a time for Rangers to take advantage, now reduced to 10 men, it's with this one fell swoop. It looks as if, well, there could be 10, it could be Laudrup, it could be Alberts. And it's Alberts with it right against the wall, and that was much too predictable and obvious. Oh, now Jim Leighton in a mistake there with Ingles. So there we have it. From the 60th minute on, Rangers a goal behind, now to play with 10 men. Played wide, Billy Dodge with it. And there's Andy Gorham as Ian Jess raced up just to the right. Watch his diagonal run.
Yeah, it's good covering from Goff though. You can't take any risks again. Gorham's done the right thing, just held his ground, but good covering from Richard Goff. Everything now for Rangers to do to at least get something out of this game.
You know, I'm astonished that a man of Amoruso's experience, because remember he's played at the highest level in Serie A and in European football, will do something like that. And that's wide. Now, of course, it isn't as if you try to take somebody's head off, but all I'm saying, in the present climate, you don't lift a hand even to swat a fly on somebody's head.
You can't do it. It's simple. There's about 5 or 6 of them in there. Amoruso pushes. I think it's Mike Newell.
I think Ian Jess might have got it as well.
Ian Jess may have got it. And I think Rangers were furious with the action of Gary Smith towards Alberts, but you know, he's lifted his hand. The referee's seen that one, and then they're taking the red card out. Decision was made.
Well, I said at the start, you know, these have always been troublesome affairs. Not always, but very frequently troublesome affairs. And it's part of the history now as Ian Jess came in there, hovering behind the Bjorklund.
He's very good at that last lovely weight in the left foot. Just off.
And he'll go across to take this himself. Just setting it up. Puts it down and away it goes. Then towards the family stand at the back there. And it's certainly not been a family occasion on the pitch. So often up here, Charlie, even at Ibrox between Aberdeen and Rangers, we've seen an eruption of anger and bitterness.
More so up here in Aberdeen. Played in a few games here myself, and always very passionate. And with the tighter ground here at Pittodrie, it lets the midfield and the biters and the workers go and be more impressive rather than the skillful players. We've seen it again today.
Andy Gorham having to come forward and take this. Jury, Ali McCoist tries to play it inside, but they're getting back in numbers, Aberdeen, and now the attack. Mike Newell, Goff going with him, and he just let Newell run into trouble. Well, I think everybody has to restrain themselves down there, just put the emphasis on self-discipline. Just getting there, Gattuso going in and doing that very well. Down to McCoy, taking an eternity to turn it though, because Laudrup was just to the left of it. Here's Laudrup going inside, and every pass like that has been well read by this Aberdeen defence.
Yeah, they packed it well with numbers. Every time Laudrup's wanted to take and commit one of the full-backs on, it's been good support from the next central defender off fellow midfield player. They've numbered themselves well.
Laudrup won't get away with that. John Ingles. And you begin to doubt, you begin to wonder whether Rangers can find the inspiration. I mean, in a situation like the one we have just now, Laudrup at his very best, or even Gascoigne at his best when he was here, could lift a struggling Rangers side. Gascoigne's away, and Laudrup, as I said, a pale shadow what he used to be. There's Jury a little bit hesitant there. I don't think Ingles needed to panic. The chipped off. That will have to go back to Andy Gower. Well, Gattuso started off and then fell back just a little bit. That's a free kick. Gattuso driving in. Jim Leighton to take this. Well, I said 17 bookings and 1 sending off. Even before this game started, here's Billy Dodds, and that's just over. Wonderful run on the left-hand side there by Dodds. Just failing marginally to keep it down. Yeah,
he's stretching for it though. Does well enough. Good touch from Newell. He's onto it very, very sharply. He's got to snatch at it. Decent effort though. Well, the big German does need support when the ball's bouncing like that. Nobody coming towards him, and Bjorklund goes in. And it has gone over, although Albert is down and out at the moment, right on the halfway line. I don't know where he got it, might have got it on the side of the head. A little word of instruction from Walter there. And is the league championship slipping away, Charlie? At this moment in time it is, yes. I don't think we can ever write Rangers off. We didn't 6 weeks or so ago, when it didn't look as if they were going to be as far as this in the contest. But Celtic have got the points in the bag. As we see Albert's, I think it's more of an awkward fall. Little knock on the side of the head, yes. I think it's now sitting advantage Celtic, but there's still 3 games to go after this. And even if Rangers were to come away with a point today, I think that would be enough to encourage them to fight right till the end.
You wonder where the goals are going to come from. Have they got a hamper boy they could bring on? Because at the moment, you know, it's been so ineffective up front.
Yeah, but McCoist is still there. As long as McCoist is still there, Archie, anything can happen. You just never know.
By Bjorklund. Now turn. This is much more promising. Gattuso going forward, a little bit selfish. Once again, Jury short with a pass. Simply lack of incision about how they've done. Bjorklund has got the pace. That's perhaps his greatest asset. Well, Gillis trying to send that wide, looking for support. Just short of just over 20 minutes left. Free kick. These games have never been lullabies for people. Nobody's ever gone to sleep at an Aberdeen Rangers game. Ingles, Billy Dodds. Alberts, who seemed to be playing on the left-hand side of defence. And Ali gave up on that very quickly. Jim Leighton going for another another shutout. Leighton, in fact, has had 9 shutouts so far. He was injured in pre-season, he missed a couple of weeks and has been ever present since. Although not a single player at Aberdeen or at Ibrox has been an ever present this season. Talking about shutouts, Charlie, Andy Gorham hasn't had a shutout away from home this season.
Yeah, it's been a big surprise from Rangers defensively. They have been that bit more ragged than normal.
Ian Jess. Billy Dodds. That is tempting it. Oh, has he gone over now? That comes into the category yet again of the miraculous.
I don't know how this guy does it. I just simply don't know the answers. To have a header from 3 yards, point blank, wonderful cross from Billy Dodds. When he has the audacity to hold it.
Well, you know, I thought it was past the parcel. I thought he was walking into the net with it. The velocity of it had just carried him right over the line, but he held out. He remains so impassive when he makes these saves. Oh, it's incredible. He had what am I talking about? He's had so many I've seen over the years, Andy Gorham. Certainly has broken Celtic's heart from time to time, Charlie.
Well, if it stays like this today, as we see Negri's going to come on, I think, for probably McCoist. I think it's that time of the day. There goes Ali, but yeah, he's done it so many times against Celtic. He did do it this season. But at this moment in time, the happy people watching this programme today are the Celtic ones.
On he comes, Negri. I think he'll be desperate to get in the action here. I don't think he's been too happy sitting on the bench, as I said earlier. And so, to that extent, we might have a much hungrier player on there, looking for his 37th goal in total this season. Alec Willow's side has performed well for him. Alec always produces well-organised teams.
Yeah, there's never been a doubt about that. He's always been a little bit upset when we say that he's maybe not the most attack-minded guy, but I think they have played very well today, there's no doubt about that.
There's Buchan going for that again. Billy Dodds can't get that one. Gattuso. Laudrup, better ball to Gattuso. Oh, he's taken it too far again. He gets a corner kick, but I think that ball should have been... Well, the referee said it's a goal kick. Well, Gattuso is slightly amazed. Mamma mia. Let's have a look, Charlie.
Well, he's took too many touches for me. Don't debate it. I think he's came back off his shin.
It should have been passed inside quicker.
He had about 4 touches, far too many. As soon as you take 1 extra in this game, it's hard enough. He's taken 3 or 4 on that occasion.
Goff. Laudrup just getting away, and once again Buchan, who's been outstanding.
Yeah, fantastic display from this young fella today. Always been a guy since I've seen him. He started actually, I think, at the right full-back position and looked a good pass of the ball, but now he looks as if he's maturing.
That's a great ball to Billy Dodds. Can he keep it in now? Really got off to that very quickly. Just to Cleland. And Buchan got it there from 10. No doubt about that. Jonas turns, snapping into them, and I think he got it right across the back. He's holding his back. There's a tackle there. Oh dear.
I think it's his right knee that probably caught him in the end. Catch him so high up. It's been frustrating for Tern today. He started on the right-hand side of midfield. And I think the young, aggressive nature of the Aberdeen midfield is upset him. And now he's moved more central. And Jamie Buckingham says he's been outstanding for Aberdeen. And he's got his yellow card now for his troubles.
Indeed. His fourth of the season. Quite apart from anything else, I mean, Rangers go to Tynecastle next week and they have to rearrange the defence yet again.
Yeah, that's right. More problems for them. But they had to do this all season. They've had major injuries throughout the season. You can understand that. But the size of their pool and their playing squad should have been more than enough to cope with it.
Yorkland away. And there's Laudrup chasing after this. Laudrup. Oh, beautifully taken away there, and again another outstanding performance by David Browson. No respecter of reputation, and there's the pace I was talking about of Yorkland. Well, I think a goalkeeper who has touches that are miraculous from time to time can be forgiven for not being able to play the ball with his feet like that from occasional pass backs. Now, Jess seemed to handle it. Free kick. Tell. Ingles. Jury seemed to leave that. Billy Dodds. And another free kick to Aberdeen. Time running out at Rangers now. They always knew it was going to be difficult. And I wonder, even though they would have protested the very idea of it, I wonder if that result yesterday at Parkhead really has affected them before a ball was kicked.
I don't think it has, because I don't think they have merited so far this season that they should really be challenging Celtic for this title and even have it against the Hearts at one stage. But they have as always dug deep, and they've come back with very spirited displays, but today has not been one of them.
Richard Goff is up and gets a free kick. And now Rangers really are taking risks. They push forward. The central defender again, and I think Moore is getting ready to come on. There's the tumble by Richard Goff. And I think it's Cleland who will be going off. And Smith was booked for that last challenge. Bringing on down, I think Aberdeen are about to make a substitution as well. On comes Craig Moore, the Australian international. And it looks like Russell Anderson, I think. Ian Jazz goes off. So, George Albert. Jostling going in the box again. That's not a bad ball, and Leighton. Touch of conviction of the Aberdeen goalkeeper there.
The threat from Negri, though, he just sneaked round the back and very nearly got in front of the goalkeeper. But the old experienced campaigner, under pressure as always, very, very calm and good decision.
Untidy and scrappy, and Rangers get the benefit of the throw. There's Zelbert's nowhere near it. Trying to get Laudrup into the play, but Smith, well, any of the Aberdeen players have run up against Laudrup, been able to challenge him very quickly. There's Gattuso. That's better play by Rangers now. Albert on to Jury. Wrong side of Laudrup, forcing him to the touchline. It's an inviting one. There's Jury. I just got the impression, Charlie, he took on that tad too early.
Yeah, he's up there waiting on it. He finally hits the byline, Laudrup. And just when you get the evidence that Jury's back post with Rowson, or is it Anderson, he's suddenly overstretched, he's stretching too high, he's waiting on it and can't get any power on it.
10 minutes. Rangers are away from a day they remember in this championship as doomsday for them. I think you're absolutely right about the way they transformed themselves. Here's Dodds. One on the outside by Anderson. Dodds remains in there, and that's a weak finish. I mean, the improvement that took place in the Rangers team over the past 6 weeks has been remarkable, but they've struggled too often, especially away from home, as you suggested. And
but when you take into consideration the loss of Gascoigne, we know the ability the man has, the disappointing for him with Laudrup, and yet they can steal themselves back into the championship race. It was done by hard work and endeavour, and I have to say it's came from the mainly home-based guys.
now 2 against 2, and that was timely by Richard Gough. Judgment of a very experienced player there. Now Gattuso driving in. Well, I think Mike Newell got out of the way of that one. And the Rangers supporters just down below us have stayed behind their team, backing them all the way here. Laudrup looking inside to Alberts. Then it goes to Gattuso, and it just passed. Not a bad effort. Youngster did well to creep into the box like that.
Yeah, he made a nice angled run. You just think sometimes that maybe Albert should be using decoys. Smith shows him inside, on his right. Gattuso, if you can't get it at the right angle, you've just got to cut out and start again. In the end, it's a waste. It's just simply giving the ball back to Aberdeen.
Gough. And I think significantly, Charlie, Aberdeen aren't actually pushing at Rangers at this time, and that gives you an idea of the fragmented nature of this Rangers team at the moment.
Well, they're arguing with each other, and yet it's a basic schoolboy error. It simply should be an acceptance. It's my mistake. Got on with it. We are 1-0 down after all, and we need to get back into the championship.
Newell asking for it. Smith. Chen wisely leaving that. Just about 7 minutes remaining. Nobody behind Bjorklund. Seem to be quite happy with the fact that, and again, this is, as you hinted at earlier, an Alec Miller ploy. You know, he wants the emphasis put on defence, even though he's playing against 10 men. Here's Laudrup. Moore. Laudrup, just a touch there. Can't save it though. And the man, as I said, he's only scored 4 goals this season. Curiously enough, a couple against Aberdeen, and has scored against them in every game last season. Is now playing his last time at Pittodrie in a fashion which I'm sure to the Aberdeen supporters is a pleasant enough sight. A great player, not on form, but not any lovers of the game. This man is going out a shadow of his former self. Now, Jury. I think he's going for the long one. Gough was certainly up, and there is 10 again. Hovering right at the end, waiting for his chance.
That's a beautiful strike again. He's just a yard wide of it. It's a back stanchion. I've got to say, even in that position, Jim Leighton looked as if he had it covered.
So we have just about 5 minutes remaining. If it remains like this, only the most foolhardy would place a bet on Rangers for the championship, and as Charlie's been emphasising, they've come back from the dead. They've got to this stage, but it's just a little bit too much now, you would think. Now taken away by Wilson. Newell goes across there, and Bjorklund. Just a little bit of a fankle. Well, we hear the man of the match is Ian Jess, voted by you, the viewers. Bell's man of the match is Ian Jess. Not the most surprising verdict ever.
Not a surprise to me, Archie. I think he's played well today. I've had an individual choice, which I totally can accept from the viewers. My personal man of the match would have been Jamie Buchan. I think he's been absolutely outstanding for such a young player. Jess has given them passion and movement up front. But Buchan is surprising me. I thought Rangers would dominate this midfield today, and I think Buchan's been sensational.
You are the minority vote, John.
I am, and I welcome
back you. Freedom of choice. Buchan, quite superb, as Johnny said. Now, Alberts. Just beyond Stephen Glass. Up towards Jury. And they're simply coping so comfortably with everything that Rangers are trying to throw at them now. And I think Mike Newell is coming off now, and it's Brian O'Neill. Brian O'Neill, the former Celtic player. On he comes. He's been fighting to re-establish himself in the Aberdeen side. They're of great promise when he was at Parkhead, of course. Now, there's nobody, not a single player the Rangers have. And technically speaking, this is exactly what a continental coach would ask his team to do. 1 up against 10 men. We need to win. The goal itself, or the goal's not as important, and here's the break. Anderson away. Can he go forward himself? Can he finish it off? Just past. Great run by the substitute.
It's a great run. I don't think he quite was sure whether he could go in and finish it. There's a natural fullback. Tim just can't live with his pace. It's Moore who initially puts him off, and he's just dragged it a little wide.
And again they're exposed on the right-hand side with about 2 minutes remaining. There will be some stoppage time. And Goff can't keep that in. That's cut back there. In comes the man who's Charlie's choice as the man of the match. That was Bucket coming in. He's shown an aptitude for getting into space very quickly. And as I said, he's now been picked on the basis of one performance that Craig Brown saw him playing in at midfield against Dundee United. He's in the Scotland under-21 squad. And I would have to say there is now a bedraggled look about this Rangers side. A side that has come to a high plateau of achievement over the years, over the last 9 years. And now they're running out of oxygen. And we're into the final minute. It has been a great run by them. Now, of course, as you've emphasized, Charlie, there are 3 games to go, but come on, would you put any money on them?
No, but then again, I wouldn't have put money on them 6 weeks ago. I think it is advantage Celtic. I think yesterday was a major performance from them, because they did struggle for 25-30 minutes in that game against Motherwell. But today, although we can say that Rangers have given Celtic back the advantage of the title, they've got to compliment Aberdeen today. I think they played better than we all anticipated.
Sure. Billy Dodds. George Alberts. There's Moore. Negri just getting a touch now. Brian Laudrup. Back to Negri. And the shot and go. Well, That was a combined move which been so lacking in the Rangers team up to then.
Yes, it was. It was the first time look at any fluency. The build-up through the middle, little link-up work with Laudrup. And suddenly you felt maybe something can happen. But again, it's got to stem through Laudrup. He's got to be the creator. Nice little flick. Negri doesn't quite get hold of it. It was an awkward one to take. And good pressure from the Aberdeen defence.
And now half a minute into stoppage time. The Aberdeen supporters want this game over and done with now. They needed the valuable points, and I think Joe Miller was hovering on the touchline, and Moore totally out of it. Smith, Richard Goff, Bird driving to Negri, and to Jury. Ball taken away from him, and acrobats there by Turn, and he had to. Offside. And it may well be a case that Rangers are going out with the proverbial whimper and not the bang. Billy Dodds, I think, coming off. There he is. He's worked very hard, as have all the Aberdeen players. Charlie, I think, right. Even though the importance of winning a league championship is predominant, Charlie is right to point out the great performance of the Aberdeen players, including the veteran in goal. Now 1 against 1. Yorkland. And it really does show you that in a league of 10, even a team as the strongest candidate, one of the strong candidates to win the title, can be humbled by somebody at the other end.
Well, that's true. I mean, we could have thought before kick-off, which I think most of us did, that Aberdeen would just fight and scrap, which they have done. I think they're played with a quality that Rangers really haven't done today.
And some of the younger players, of course, like your favourite.
Fucking Jess has been contributing with his experience, and all of us.
There's Negri. Difficult to come on in a situation like that. There's a longer ball put through.
Well, his goal record has been good enough to say he shouldn't be shooting and taking a gamble like that when Laudrup was hidden a little bit of space on the left. But it's worth it. You're 1-0 down. It's the last few seconds. It's worth it. But I've been shocked and a little surprised as the final whistle goes, Archie.
There it goes, the final whistle, and Alec Miller takes the rightful congratulations. Aberdeen, I think, have saved themselves conclusively, and it looks as if Rangers' hope of getting 10 in a row has surely been torpedoed by a team that has relished the challenge. There are the Aberdeen supporters making their rightful celebrations. Charlie, you're summing up.
Well, I thought it was a justifiable win for Aberdeen. I thought they were the better team. What surprised me more than anything about Rangers was not a lack of spirit or a lack of bottle. It was a lack of imagination and a lack of people really determined to go on a ball and make things happen today. I thought Aberdeen did that. They worked hard, they closed down. Bucking was special, but I think everybody in Aberdeen 11 today and the 3 that came on all played a major part, and Rangers will find it very, very difficult to really get back into this championship.
And here's the goal when it came. Lovely little curved lob there, and off the side of the head by the man who sadly for Aberdonians is heading south for Newcastle. Stephen Glass's goal, I think, put paid, in my view. And now we can go to the man of match. And it's Ian Jess with Paul Cooney.
Ian, man of the match, but more importantly for you, 3 points.
Yeah, that's a great result for us. It takes us up to 6th position, so we're still not out of the mire yet, but it's a great result, and 11 bodies there just giving their all.
Did you feel it was the midfield where you were in top this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, it was always going to be a battle, and I think the midfield got on top, and we played some really good stuff, and I mean, we knew how to work hard, and I think everybody's worked hard today.
So many successes for you, and young Jamie Buchan, also a close contender for that Bell's position today.
Yeah, I think Jamie was outstanding today. I think 11 players out there, but outstanding. And I think Jamie's only played in there for 2 or 3 times now, and I think he was magnificent today.
What about Rangers? Were you surprised that they weren't more on top maybe early in the game?
Well, we knew what to expect. I mean, it's always hard games, they're always tight, and Rangers worked hard for each other, but it was all down to whoever worked hard enough, and we did that in the day.
We see some of your fans going away there. They look really happy as well. They might. Do you think you're now safe?
Well, no, not yet. Not yet. I mean, we've pulled clear of Hibs, but there's still 3 games to go, and it's important that we pick up some points from them.
Now, you came off with the injury. You've got it strapped at the moment. What happened?
I've just got a slight calf strain, so I'll see the doctors and physio and see what they've got to say.
And what about the Scotland squad for Wednesday?
Well, hopefully I'll be there, but it'll be up to the physios to make a decision, and hopefully it'll be all right.
A player sent off, Amaruso. Do you think that turned the game?
Well, I mean, I suppose it's sort of more beneficial to us. You know, they're down to 10 men, and it's sort of, I mean, I think we were on top by that time, and we've got the sort of goal, and we've sort of defended exceptionally well today.
Ian, Bell's man of the match, 3 points as well, and there you are, the bottle of champagne. I'm sure you'll enjoy it tonight.
Thank you. Thanks.
There we are, Ian Jess, very happy man. So Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0. We'll hear the thoughts of Scotland striker Kevin Gallagher, and we'll gather reaction from the dressing rooms in just a couple of minutes from now, so don't go away.